Hi guys! So by now you probably know that I already have two male sugar gliders, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why you should neuter them and what to look out for if you decide to do it. The first and most important reason why you might want to neuter them is because you don't want babies, or because they are unlineaged and you could have babies and these babies could be sick. For example, I don't want to go too much into this. It's really a long story and very complicated, or not so complicated, but it's a long story. But really, if they are not lineaged, if they don't have a family tree, and if they are related, you don't want them to breed with each other, so that's when you want your males neutered. Usually intact males are more aggressive, so having them neutered will probably change their behavior as well. As soon as they have been neutered, their scent glands will stop to produce any more scent oils, so they will stop smelling that bad. Dobby came to me intact, and he was already mature and 13 years old and very smelly. For me that was really difficult, not only because I don't like it when my living room where the sugar gliders are smells bad, also I just couldn't stomach his smell at all. It was just making me sick. So if your sugar gliders smell that bad, then you probably have a male among them and he is intact. But as soon as they have been neutered, it takes a couple days and they will stop smelling that bad. It's going to take a couple months until the smell goes away completely. First, their scent glands stop producing the scent oils, as I have said, and eventually their urine will stop smelling that bad as well, because I did notice that Dobby's urine smelled much worse than the other ones. While his scent glands have stopped producing the scent oils and he has stopped smelling bad from the outside, his urine stopped smelling bad after around 6 to 8 weeks. It rarely happens, but it is a possibility that males will self-harm due to hormones. So if they do that and you have no idea why, then you might want to consider having them neutered. Of course, most cases of self-harm are not due to hormones. Usually they're caused by depression or even an unhealthy diet. They might get sick and that's how they cope with it. People have said that post-neuter their behaviors have changed and the males have become nicer. But I do have to say, because both my males came to me very socialized, I can't really confirm that. The surgery also reduces the urge to mate, and that's especially important if you have a female or more females in your cage and they suffer from mating wounds. Very often when sugar gliders try to mate, they will hurt the females. And also neutered sugar gliders will be less aggressive to each other. It is said that the earliest you can neuter your sugar glider is 8 weeks, though usually they are neutered at around 3 months old. The best way to know if your Suggie is ready for surgery is to have a look at his palm, and if it has detached from the belly, then he is most probably ready to be neutered. Of course, as always, you should talk to your vet about it first because they have to do the operation. Your vet will have a look at the sugar glider and decide if he is ready for surgery or not, but as a reference point, I'm saying at around 3 months out of pouch, they're ready to go. The reason why you have to wait for their palm to detach from the belly is because before that point, their testicles are still inside of their belly, and so you have to wait until they descend into the scrotum before the operation can take place. There are two different methods of neutering. The first one and most commonly used is the palm off method, where they remove the scrotum completely, and then the second one is the one where they just remove the testicles inside, but that method is a bit more complicated, but it will leave your sugar glider looking more natural, I guess. Many first-time owners want to know exactly what they should take with their Suggies to the vet when they are having them neutered. The first and most important thing, of course, is a transportation box of some sort, and this is mine. It's fairly big, it's quite alright for a visit to the vet. This is usually the box I put them in whenever I go with them to the vet. You can easily open it by pushing this button right here, but they can't really open it from the inside. And then on the inside, usually I keep a fleece blanket. Of course, now it's empty. But I put a big fleece blanket so that they can cuddle up and hide inside of it as well if they want to. When I took my two boys in for neutered, I had them neutered separately. I also put inside a couple of toys for them to play with in case they woke up before I picked them up, and also some snacks in case they were hungry. I added a little bit of apple, but of course I added a snacky mouse as well. This is the snacky mouse in case you don't know it. Maybe if you've seen my other videos, then you will know by now what exactly it is. My sugar gliders go crazy over them. They love them very much. It's by far their favorite toy because of course it dispenses treats. So they had a snacky mouse inside, and they also had a couple different toys to keep them busy, as I said. I've also added a sleeping pouch. The sugar gliders have slept in the night before so that they could feel more comfortable and secure. And I took them in the morning, and then I picked them up after about 5 to 6 hours, and they were already awake and active, but thankfully both of my males have done very well post-surgery. They have not harmed themselves and they were quite active. The first thing you want to look out for after surgery is that they don't start to self-harm. Many vets recommend you use a cone around their neck so that they can't touch the incision site. My vet didn't want to do that, and I respected it. Of course, pain meds are very important, and most of the vets recommend using them. In my personal experience, it is better if you use pain meds, but that's just a preference because I don't want to know that they are suffering. The pain meds were not only helpful with the pain management, they also made sure that the incision site stayed healthy and healed fast. Of course, other vets opt to not give the sugar gliders pain meds post-surgery because there are exceptions where the pain meds can damage their liver or other organs. I personally had to adjust the schedule the vet has given me post-neuter simply because the meds started wearing off sooner than expected. I should have only given them the pain meds once a day, but because it started wearing off sooner than usual, I had to adjust, and I talked to the vet about it and she recommended I give it to them once every 20 hours. When you take your sugar glider to the vet, just have a talk with your vet and decide together what is best for your animal. Some recommend you keep your males separated from other cage mates post-neuter, especially from other females, as they might still be fertile for up to 3 days or even more. My vet suggested that they might still produce offspring for up to 3 months. I kept Dobby separated from the girls after neuter only because he was still in the introduction period, but only for a couple more days. But many others have added their sugar gliders post-neuter right back into the cage with their cage mates as to not stress them out too much. I suggest you follow your sugar glider's actions and reactions to his surroundings. They might still be a bit confused post-neuter after a couple hours, but it usually wears off after 7-8 hours. And most people simply put them back inside of their normal cage at that point. You normally don't have to do any changes to the cage, you don't have to remove any wheels, you don't have to remove any toys or anything. Actually, it's really best if you keep them very occupied during the next couple of days, so make sure you add a lot of treats and hide them inside of many different toys, and also add a lot of new toys. Just make their cage very interesting for the next couple of days. You want to keep them occupied, busy. You don't want to have them thinking about how much they are in pain, if they are in pain. And you don't want them to start grooming their incision site because then that can end up really bad. I suggest you not only add new toys to the cage or toys they haven't seen in a while that will keep them intrigued for the next couple hours, but also to add treats inside of eggs like this one right here. It's a simple plastic egg and it can easily be opened, and then there's a treat inside, and this will also keep them busy for a couple hours. When I got them back from the vet, I simply had a lot of treats hidden all over inside of the cage, under blankets, in baskets, in toys, in eggs like this one, and also of course the snacky mouse. For the first couple of days, I wasn't really so much concerned about them not eating their staple diet. I was more concerned with them not paying any attention to the wound. Of course, as with any other surgery, neutering has its risks, so it's best if you talk to your vet about it before doing it. It's not only the risk of having them put under anesthesia in the first place, there's also a risk of infection to the incision site and also the possibility of self-harming post-neuter. The more you talk to your vet about it and the more information he seems to have on sugar gliders and on the surgery in general, the easier it will be for you to trust him with your sugar glider. Please keep all of these things in mind before you make an informed decision whether to neuter your sugar glider or not. Here's hoping that all of the questions have been answered. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos on sugar gliders. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you found it helpful, and thank you for watching. Bye!